came about, I was interviewing Barry for another project a couple of years ago, and I was down at his house and he was training Carl Frampton. And after the interview, I just asked if I could just hit the pads with Barry Oldham. And he said, yeah. And he said, oh, you got a decent punch. And then a few months later, with the same management company, he was in the office. And just jokingly said, having a meeting about my fight. And things seemed to escalate from there pretty quickly. You know, from just being an idea and thinking that'd be fun, to then two and a half weeks away from my first fight now. And it's been possibly the hardest thing I've ever done. Well, probably it is the hardest thing I've ever done. Hopefully through this we've conveyed some of it, but it's just, you know, physically is one thing. You know, I had to drop weight, I had to train hard, get stronger. I had to get the technique of boxing, I had to go in the ring, I had to take sparring, I had to get hit. Mentally is like nothing else really. You know, you're always building yourself up, and you come down, you're building yourself up all the time. Just a monotony, getting up each day and committing to what you're doing. And having done it, you realise what boxers go through, and how hard it is, the sacrifices they make, the hours that they put in through, well, just committed to what they're doing. You know, the physical aspect is one, you do get tired when you're losing weight and you're doing the training sessions. You know, you start off pretty fresh at the start of the week and you start to tail off by the end, and you have a day off and then you rest up. Mentally it's been hard. It's just up and down. You know, before like a sparring session, you get a bit nervous before you go, and you enjoy it whilst you're in there. And then you come out, and if it's gone well, you've got all that adrenaline. About an hour later, it just goes, and you're left with, you know, you find out where you've been hit, and you're a bit sore. So, yeah, it's hard to say which is a tougher, but you know, in professional sport and cricket as well, you know, it's always a mental side which was underestimated, or what people don't necessarily realise. And I think this is probably like that, but times it by 10. I tend not to look too much. You know, I'm doing something which is hard and something in a short space of time that I've got to just get my head down and be committed. And you know, the pressure's on myself. That's the only one I can control. I can't control outside pressure. You know, and that's the philosophy I tried to use when I played cricket as well. You know, I'm sure there's been negative stuff, and whatever you do, there's always that side of it. And I suppose it's just people wanting to protect the sport they love. You know, you're probably the same with cricket, and I can understand that. But hopefully, when people see me and see this and see the fight, you know, attitudes will be changed, because I have given it my best shot. I've lived and breathed it for the past few months, and want to show boxing for what it is as a boxing fan. I've questioned what I'm doing a few times, because you know, when you go home, when you've been in a sparring session, your lips hanging out, your nose is bleeding, and you're feeling a bit sore and a bit sorry for yourself. Yeah, there are times you feel, what am I doing? You know, it could be so much easier, life. But I think what I've found is that the hardest things tend to be the most rewarding, and this is the hardest thing I've done, so hopefully at the end of it, it will be the most rewarding as well. I realise the magnitude of the task we're taking on, and it's all gearing up to a fight on the 30th. I'm not going to sit here and say I'm going to do this, that, and I want to do the other. I think because I just got to concentrate on that, and then when that's done, hopefully it'll go well, and then make a decision on what happens next. But at this moment in time, everything is just concentrating on the 30th of November. I've worked hard and I've learnt a lot, and it'd be nice, you know. It'd be sad to stop there, but you know, I'm not going to make any bold statements or big decisions now. We'll see how we go. I've not been in a ring like this. It's going to be my first fight in front of a crowd, and see how it all goes.